Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of the Indicator Store, and today we are going to explain how to detect when the price bounces over a line, any line. Let's say that we have an indicator and the indicator has no signals. It only draw one or maybe several lines. And we are interested in knowing when the price bounces over that line. In that case, we need to define a bounce pattern. What is a bounce pattern? It's a sequence of bars that we define as condition to be sure that the price is bouncing. No? On this example, we can see the VWAP. The VWAP is a line that averages the price according to the volume. So you can see when there is no volume, the line is almost not moving, and everything starts to move when we have a good volume. One of the features of this indicator, the VWAP, is that it has the same shape on any time frame. Okay, so this value on any place is equal on any time frame. So even if you are trading on 5 minutes or maybe 15 minutes or Renko or whatever, this level is going to be the same for you or for any other trader. But this is another topic. The idea is, okay, how can I detect that this is a crossover and instead this is a bounce? Okay. Let's see a few examples. For example, maybe here. We can define a very complex trade setup and another very complicated. Let's start by the simplest one. For example, let's say here on this area. So the market is coming from below. It is touching the line. You can see that the high is greater than the line, but we are closing in the direction of a possible bounce. So those are the three minimum conditions. Okay, we are coming from below, we are touching the line, but we are closing below. Of course, we can add more things. Like, for example, we are coming from below from a long distance, or maybe that the trend is to the upside. And we can look at a moving average. But let's see the simplest solution. If you have markers, you can copy the line where you want to bounce. And even if you don't have markers, what we are going to explain is useful to define the logic that we are going to use on Builder. So we need this line. So step number one, we copy the line. So we go to the indicator store, marker copy, choose a name for my line, for example. And then I select which is the line that I want to copy. In this case, it is the VWAP. It can be a moving average, a Donchian channel, whatever. If the indicator has parameters, of course, we need to set the same parameters of the copied line than the line that we are watching on the screen. But in this case, the VWAP has no parameters because it has the same value on any time frame. Okay, and now I want to see the copied line in a way that I can check that what I copy is what I see. So let me choose big dots. So we can see that the line is correctly copied. Then we can change this to a line. I can remove the VWAP because now I have the copied line. On this copy we can place copied line. Okay. So now this is my line. Now let's create this logic. Okay, let's create a box in the area where I have my signal. My signal is at the end of this box, and I need one bar. No, one bar is not enough because that bar can be coming from any place. So I need at minimum 2 bars. Okay, because I need that this bar is below the entry, the bounce line, and also that on the current bar we are touching but closing below. So we have 3 conditions. We can place those conditions inside a logic. Same applies for builder. So we add marker logic, and my conditions are I am closing, my current close 0, is less and not equal. We are closing below the blue line, and the blue line is my line on the current bar. But also, I am touching the line. So the height of my bar is equal or greater. So I can place and the height of my bar is greater or equal my line on the current bar. Let's see if that is enough. I know that this is not enough, but when this is true, that could be a short signal. Okay, so let's paint the background in color red. Sorry, this is the area where I need to set the color red background. Okay, this is for a different. Apply, and this is correct. Now can you see the problem? This bar is correct, but this bar is also following the logic because it is closing below, the height is greater or equal, but this is not enough. We need that the previous bar is coming from below, and the same applies for all the rest. For example, this one is okay because this bar is below the blue line, but not the others. Or this one, the price is coming from above, so closing below and touching the line is not enough. So we need at least one extra condition. That condition can be that the previous bar is below, or at least closing below. That will be the minimum condition. So we can add that, and the close of my previous bar, one bar ago, is below than my line one bar ago. That means that the previous bar can be touching the entry line, but it is closing below. Let's see. Okay. So now this one is okay, but what happens with this? The previous bar is closing below. This close is almost 1 pixel below. So maybe this is not enough. One condition could be I want the complete bar below. Okay, but if I want the complete bar, maybe this one, this is not touching, but maybe I am missing one bar. But let's see how it looks. I can say, okay, not the close. I want the complete bar. So the high of the previous bar is below the blue line, like this. Okay? So now I have entries on these three places. If that is enough for you, that's okay. We can add more conditions. Like for example, I have at least three, four, whatever number of bars. So for example, this one has only one bar below the blue line. Maybe two, but not three. Okay, so depending on how complex you want your bounce pattern, you can add more or less conditions. Currently, this is a 2-bar pattern. Now, how can I do this is for the shorts, so we can paint this histogram in color red, and create a fast signal. Here, create a fast signal, go short. Okay. Markers is already set. No, it is not set. So we need to configure markers to read, go long and go short. So on markers, I set fast signal mode, go long for the longs, go short for the shorts. Okay, so the shorts are ready. Now I need the longs. How can I do the longs? I can select this, right click and copy, click on another place. So this is unselected. Right click and paste. And now we have two equal signals. And now we can convert one of them to longs. How is the long setup? I want to close in the direction of my trade. So I want closing over greater than my line. And also I am touching from above. Now we are coming from above. So I am touching my bar. The low of my bar is less or equal. So the low of my bar is less or equal my line. And also the previous bar is greater than the blue line. So not the high, the low. I want the complete bar over greater my line. When this is true, let's paint the background in color green. Create the fast signal go long. And we can also paint the histogram in color green. We have two colors, the color of the histogram, the color of the signal, and one signal name. Okay? And this is an example where we have only two bars over the bounce line. But this is following the rules that we defined. We can place all together, all on the same panel, and this is ready. Let's see a few examples. For example, this one. This is following the rules. It is closing below, touching the line, and the previous bar is below the entry line. But it is only one bar. Okay, so maybe this is not enough. If I want not just one, I want 1, 2, and 3 bars not touching. Okay, so something like this. This bar is okay, the other bar is not touching, and the other bar is also not touching. How can I do that? The high of the previous bar, this one, is less than my line. But also and the high of 2 bars ago is less than my line 2 bars ago. And also, the high of 3 bars ago is less than my line 3 bars ago. Okay? And now, where are the shorts? This one is okay. This short has this one, 1, 2, 3 bars below the line. We have 3 spaces here, not touching the line. This is okay. This is not okay because we are closing on the other side. This one is okay because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bars below. And if I want to do the same with the longs, this one should be gone, no? Because there is only 3 bars. But this one is okay. Let's see. We can edit the longs and we can repeat this part. Low 2, low 3, greater than my line 3. So the low 2 bars ago is greater than my line 2 bars ago. The low 3 bars ago is greater than my line 3 bars ago. Okay, and now this is gone, but this remains. Okay, so this is a simple bounce pattern. You can make it more complicated. Like, for example, you have a continuation. Okay, so something like, instead of watching the setup on this bar, I can wait another bar and I want to see that the close is far enough from my entry, so the market is going in my direction. Okay, the only problem is you have a delay because now your entry is later from the entry price. Okay, as you can see, there are a lot of options, but the idea is this. If you have any question or comment, you can post it on the chat room that we have on Discord. The access is free. The instructions are on the description of this video. And we also have training courses. If you are interested, let me know. You can find me on the chat room. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.